Everybody, Spencer Sutton here with Evernest, and I'm with Corey Martin, who is our Nashville broker. So, Corey, man, I'm excited to talk to you today about the Nashville market.
I'm very excited to talk to you as well.
All right, well, good deal. Well, as we kind of move out of, we're kind of in the leading into the fourth quarter of 2022. We're going to be looking into 2023. I'd love to hear kind of your prognosis of the Nashville market. Like, what are you seeing on the ground there in Nashville?
Yes, absolutely. So basically what we're seeing is we are seeing a bit of a slowdown from what we saw last year, but at the same time, we're not seeing a major slowdown. Like, as much as I talk to other investors, I talk to other realtors, I talk to a whole bunch of different people, and everyone goes, yeah, recession's coming, there's gonna be a market collapse and all that kind of stuff. I don't see a collapse happening, especially in Nashville. What I see right now is where we had exponential growth in the past year. Right. From the stats went from something like in 2021 to 2022 in June, right? We had something like a 23% rise in home prices, which is, as you can imagine, that's a very high number. And that's, what you could call basically exponential growth.
Sure. It's also kind of unsustainable, right? Like, you can't keep having that type of growth. Yeah.
Exactly. So my prediction is, and along with a lot of other people I talk to, is what you're going to see, and I saw this number actually printed somewhere, but what you're going to see is that number go from 23% growth to 8%. Now, to some people, you're sitting there going, oh, that's a crash. It's just, and you're going, no, that's not a crash. It's now going back to healthy growth, where you're seeing that 8% rise. So instead of that, graph looking like an exponential number that's just going to the ceiling, now it's going to look like almost a crash because it's going to flatten out. But really what it's going to do is healthy growth. And that's exactly what you're going to see in Nashville. So it's going to be something like they said from 2022 to 2023. What you'll see is an 8% growth, which is a lot healthier and sustainable growth, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I went to school in Nashville, so I was there from like 92 to 95. And this was right before like Nashville started taking off. They got the Titans, they got all these things. So we have seen some incredible growth just in Nashville in general. And to me, Nashville is one of these cities that is continuing to reinvest in itself and going to continue to grow. What is kind of the sentiment when you're talking to investors? Why do they choose Nashville as a market that they want to be in?
Nashville is a fun city. In general, a lot of people want to be here. It's an exciting kind of city. It's central in Tennessee, as you know. It's right in the heart of it. It is the capital of Tennessee as well. So you're maybe, 45 minutes away from Bowling Green, Kentucky. So you're right there from the Kentucky border. You're about an hour and 15 from Huntsville, Alabama. So you're right there to Alabama. About an hour and a half, 2 hours to the east is North Carolina. And the same way on the other side to the west is Arkansas. You're right in the center of everything. Yeah. And it's a fun city. You can't talk about Nashville without saying music city. And yes, there's a great country scene. I'm pretty sure you know that just as well as I do. Although the country scene may look a little different from 92 to 95, might get it down to 2020 to 2022. So it might be a little different. I always talk about the fact that all my friends always ask me since I've been here, they all go, oh, you must go to all the country shows. And I go, I've been to maybe one or two. I go to more rock shows than anything else. Yeah. East Nashville is a fun place like that. It's kind of, they call it the, hipster sort of area, but it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of restaurants, there's a lot of bars, and a great music scene, and a great rock scene, in my opinion. But you can get any music you want in this city, and it's a great time.
I know that as we've served a lot of investors in Nashville, like, one of the things that they love about that city is that places rent fast, right? So these homes, like, this was the first market that we got into where we were just blown away that you could actually start pre-marketing a property before the other resident moved out, and people would rent it and want to rent it before somebody even moved out. Like, we were not used to that. And so in 2016, when we got there, it's really been amazing. So, with kind of the market kind of uncertain times, what is your best advice for investors when they're reaching out to you and saying, hey, Corey, I'm thinking about Nashville. Help me understand the market. Like, what is your best advice to investors who are considering Nashville?
Good question. When I talk to investors, a lot of them want to talk to me about doing maybe the 1% rule, having where your rent is going to be 1% of what the total value of your home is going to be. We hear that in Bigger Pockets. They talk about making, hey, I want to get the best cash flow possible. Now, I try to be very realistic with people because of that exponential growth I just talked about, 22, 23%. Home prices are pretty high right now. Now, as we know, home prices don't necessarily catch up to rents just as quickly. But I tell them the same thing that what I just told you earlier about the market being. Well, the market now is not going to have that exponential growth. What you'll see is now rents are going to catch up to that bar. And that's going to make it a lot of fun here in Nashville and actually going to build those cap rates. But in the short term, at least right now, I tell people that what you're looking at in Nashville is appreciation. People want to be here. People are coming here. I always joke around that it's a transient city, because nobody's actually from Nashville anymore. It's, everyone's from somewhere else. I myself am from Long Island, New York. I'm friends with people who are from Kentucky, from Illinois, from Missouri, from Baltimore. I have all these friends who are all from these different places. So people want to be here and people come being here. That's why things are renting so quickly. This city is seeing amazing growth. I believe something like the stat used to be, 100 people are moving to Nashville a day. And that was when I first moved here a couple of years ago. That was the sentiment. I looked up that number and it's now up to 110 people a day are moving to Nashville. It's still growing. People are still being here. That's why you're seeing those rents going very fast. But I do tell people, like, yes, you will rent it out. Yes, you will find a home that you can fix and flip. And I can tell you right now, there are a lot of deals to be had where you can get the lower value properties, fix it up a little bit, have that high ARV after you're done repairing it, and then rent it out and actually get some good cash flow coming out of it. There's deals to be had here. But I do tell people that if you're looking straight up to that 1%, you may not find it. It's more going to be now that 0.7, 0.6% rule. But what you will see is the appreciation. That home you buy this year that's worth $300,000, you'll see healthy growth in the next couple of years in that. You will make returns on that investment, and you'll see that appreciation cost.
Yeah, that's good to know. I agree. I've always thought of Nashville as a great appreciation play. Maybe not as much as cash flow, depending on when you got in. But what I love to hear is that, hey, get in now. You can still get in. Now, when you find a property, and you can tell me, you probably are not going to be fighting over it with 20 or 30 other offers. So maybe you'll still be able to make a good offer. So tell me, Corey, where are you finding deals now for investors?
Are you looking specifically for like what towns you're looking at and what areas?
No, I'm just thinking about like, how are you sourcing deals? I know the MLS. Are there other ways that you're finding deals for investors?
That's another great question to ask, because I myself have been finding very fun avenues to find deals. Nashville, because of that appreciation, a lot of people are buying into this market. So I'm seeing a lot of off-market deals. I'm seeing where I can just kind of scroll through Facebook and I can find some fun deals that are right there that people are talking about. Hey, have this great property in Madison, have this property in East that's a bit dilapidated, that's going to need a rehab, but the after repair value can be this. I'm also seeing a lot of wholesalers as well that are coming through Nashville and doing the same thing. They're talking to these people who know Nashville's growing, people want to be here and people will want to fix up, and there's investors that definitely have their eye on Nashville as well. So a lot of wholesalers as well. And I'm making connections through these people, through Facebook groups. I know that's a weird thing to say, that you're finding deals through Facebook, but let's be honest, you can find a lot of things on the internet, and that's actually a great source of finding these deals. Also investor groups. While I talked about that investors want to be here as well, there's a lot of groups that sprout up across Nashville that are always focusing on investors and making those connections and networking. And I can tell you right now, I am out there at as many as I can possibly be and making friends with as many people as possible.
That's great. Listen, when I was back, I was wholesaling houses. I was buying and selling houses. It didn't matter where I found a deal. I was okay. I was okay with billboard deals or mailers. It doesn't matter. So whether you find them on Facebook or through wholesalers or any kind of other investor groups, this is just, to me, one of the value adds that we offer investors in these towns. And so that's fantastic. So Corey, tell me, how can people get in touch with you to talk more specifically about the Nashville market?
Of course, my best way to get in touch with me is through my email. That's cmartin@evernest.co. Also, my phone number is 615-612-0340.
All right, Corey, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for your time today, and we'll be back in touch.
Thank you very much, Spencer. It's been a lot of fun.